And we're joined by Rich Adams, or Rich the Vegan. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
And so you are nearing the end of a Cross-Canada scooter trip.
Yes.
This may look like a bicycle in behind us here, but Rich, this is in fact a scooter. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this is a kick scooter, and so when I actually use this, there's no pedals, and all I do is literally just kick with my legs and push myself across this country.
And I see a little bit of a, if we can direct our camera towards it, you've got a solar panel at the front here to keep some charge in your phone?
Yep, so this solar panel charges my phone. I have a tent, I have a sleeping bag, a spare tire, and then these panniers full of clothes and food, and this has some water in it, and it's enough to keep me going.
How far can you scoot in one day?
So it really depends. I aim for around 100. So some days I do a little bit less, some days I do a little bit more. So
100K?
100 kilometers, yes.
Now, I take it that the primary purpose of this is to raise awareness
Yes.
for something that you encountered in South Korea.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So many years ago when I was in South Korea, I learnt about the dog meat trade. And this is a horrific industry where approximately 2.5 million dogs are brutalized, butchered and eaten. And I wanted to bring awareness to this. So last year I went across South Korea on a smaller scooter, like a little kid's scooter, and I did that to raise awareness. And then as part of that trip, I actually saw dogs. I saw them in cages, I saw them in chains, and I said to myself, as a human being, I have to do something to help. I sort of said, I made them a promise. I said, I can't take you with me now, but I'll come back. I'll come back for you somehow. I think when I finish this trip, I'm gonna have to try and go back, do something. And it just then evolved from awareness into a rescue mission to try and save the dogs that I met along the way. And so I managed to rescue some dogs, and some of them came to Canada and were adopted, some have gone to America, and the video from that was put online and it received a lot of popularity, and that spawned this trip. And one of the dogs that I rescued, a beautiful dog called Kathy, we had adopters lined up for her, and unfortunately she passed away. And so I've named this trip in honor of her, and it's called Kathy's Tale. And I wanted to show that her life had value. She wasn't just a product to be eaten. Her life had meaning, and she herself was a living being, and I wanted this to honor her life.
I think that a lot of people who are opposed to people eating meat see the whole process of just doing that as brutal. But what you discovered in Korea is that there was really, apart from the fact that they were raising them for meat, there was additional brutality, intentional brutality on top of that.
Yeah, there's this myth that's been built up, is that if the dog suffers, then the meat is somehow better. And so there's been several myths that have built up around that. One of the beliefs is that it gives you extra stamina in bed. A second belief is that during the hottest period, and we're in that now, which is called Boknal, the hottest days of the year, is that by eating these dogs that have suffered, that somehow that meat will keep you cool. And so I want to bring awareness to this and show the horrific nature of this, and to hopefully try and stop this industry.
And along the process of promoting, understanding and awareness of this issue, your own journey took you to becoming a vegan.
That's right. When I was over there, it's very easy to point fingers and say, what you're doing is wrong. But then all of a sudden the fingers point back at you. And I had to reflect on my actions and realize that a dog is no different to a chicken or a cow or a pig or a turkey. These are living beings. These are sentient beings. All of them think, they feel, they experience the world as we do. And I realized that if I'm going to be true to myself, and if I'm going to advocate for compassion for one animal, then I have to be true and do that to all animals. And that sent me on a journey then to becoming vegan. And this has changed my life. for the better. And I've realized that we don't need to eat animals. To be fit, to be healthy, to be strong, we don't need to eat animals. And doing this is proof. If I can invest this much effort, this much energy, it's proof we don't need to eat animals.
And it does seem when you look at people who tend to gravitate towards veganism or even just vegetarianism, it tends to be women more than men.
That's right. And I want to show this trip, I want to give a call out to men and say, whatever you think manliness is, and I'm not here to determine what makes people manly, but whatever it is you want to do in your life as a man, you can do that with compassion in your heart, and you don't have to hurt another living being. As a man, for me, I believe that as a man we should use our strength to protect those weaker than ourselves and to protect the innocent ones. And there is nothing truly more innocent or weaker than an animal. They're at our mercy. And so I want to show men is that you can grow a ginger beard, you can kick scoot across countries, you can, go to the gym. There's many vegan bodybuilders. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can do it protecting the innocent, being vegan.
So you started in Halifax?
Yes.
You'll finish in Vancouver?
Yes.
When's it all wrap up?
So I'm hoping to be there for the 26th of July. So I have a few days left, and I'll arrive there, and then I'll probably be met in with a couple of rescue dogs from Korea, and then I'll do the trip back home.
Great. Rich Adams, great meeting you. Thanks for this.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.